It's not new to belittle the Eastern Conference teams. This has been happening for a while, but now the belittling of the Boston Celtics from the fans is even worse. So, let's take a look at how the Boston Celtics are doing against the Western Conference teams. Even though the Boston Celtics became the best team in the entire NBA with 64 wins and 18 losses, they still can't get the respect from NBA fans because they say it's easier in the Eastern Conference, and now they are in the NBA Finals. If we look closely, the Boston Celtics record against the West teams for the entire regular season is 23 wins and 7 losses. That's a 76% win rate for them, which is close to their overall 78% win rate for the entire regular season. If they played in the West, it would be a smaller sample size with 30 games, but they would still likely be the number 1 team in the West because the top team in the West doesn't even have a 30% win rate. However, if we examine the 7 losses of Boston against the Western Conference more closely, they were against the Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Nuggets, Timberwolves, and OKC, powerhouse teams in the NBA. 5 of these teams made it to the top 8 spots in the West playoffs. Overall, here's the Boston Celtics record against the top 8 teams in the West. Against the New Orleans Pelicans, they are 1-1. Against the Los Angeles Lakers, they are 1-1. Against the Phoenix Suns, they are 2-0. Against the Dallas Mavericks, they are 2-0. Against the Los Angeles Clippers, they are 1-1. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are 1-1. Against the Denver Nuggets, they are 0-2. And against the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are 1-1. With that, against the top 4 teams in the West, the Boston Celtics have a losing record of 3-5. Therefore, Mavericks fans are confident that they can beat the Boston Celtics in the finals now. The top 4 teams that gave Tatum and the Celtics trouble were beaten by the Mavericks in these playoffs. The Denver Nuggets were beaten by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were also beaten by the Dallas Mavericks. Meanwhile, the Clippers and the number 1 team in the West, the OKC Thunder, were also beaten by the Dallas Mavericks. But the question is that enough for the Mavs to beat the Celtics? And let's not disregard that the Celtics dominated most of the West teams this regular season. Plus, they are tied 1-1. They also beat the OKC, Wolves, and Clippers. While their 2 losses to the Nuggets were only by 6 and 2 points, they really go toe-to-toe with the top teams of the West. And no matter what people say, the Boston Celtics are really strong. Their 23 wins out of 30 games against West teams are proof of that. It's also valid to say that some people believe their path to the finals was easy due to the opponents they faced, which is why you can understand the doubts of some fans. If the Mavs were in the East, Doncic and the Mavs might still be able to make it to the finals, but it's hard to say if the Boston Celtics could handle the path the Mavs faced against the Clippers, Thunder, and Wolves. On the brighter side, there's still a good chance for the Boston Celtics to prove themselves because if they manage to defeat the Dallas Mavericks in the finals, it's likely that their doubters will quiet down. Ultimately, the Boston Celtics remain the best team in the entire NBA, partly because their path to the NBA Finals has been easier. However, it's not their fault if the opposing team gets injured. There's a saying that availability is the best ability, and they've also faced setbacks due to injuries, like Kristaps Porzingis. So, the Boston Celtics shouldn't be underestimated. The NBA Finals are still unpredictable, but the Dallas Mavericks are battle-tested in the postseason, having overcome many challenges, while the Boston Celtics are still being pushed to their limits. But now they'll truly face the caliber of players like Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving.
All bets on sports! The energy flows! The team is on fire! The victory is coming! 1xBet, this is your victory!